Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. Please do remember to share this video with your friends so that even they benefit. Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended 0580 Variant 41 October-November 2017. Question number 6 onwards. So question number 6, this is a sequence question. These are the first 4 diagrams in a sequence. Each diagram is made from small squares and crosses. A. Complete the diagram. So in diagram 1, there are 6 crosses, diagram 2, 10, diagram 3, 14. What do you notice? How many numbers you are adding every time? 4. 10 plus 4, 14. 14 plus 4, 18. 18 plus 4, 22. So that was easy. And now we have to find the nth term. To find the nth term, we use the formula. We use the rule a plus n minus 1 d, where a is your first term. So a is our first term. What is our first term? 6. And d is your difference. This is the difference. Every time you are adding 4, so that is your difference. Expand the bracket. 4 multiplied by n, 4n. Negative 1 multiplied by 4, negative 4. Add the like terms together. 6 minus 4 plus 2. So the nth term is 4n plus 2. There's a shorter way to find the nth term of an arithmetic sequence. What is an arithmetic sequence? If you add or subtract to get the next term, that's an arithmetic sequence. And this is the formula to find the arithmetic sequence. The other way is in a shorter way. We know that the difference is 4. We know that the difference is 4, right? 4. So we write 4n. And then from the first term, you subtract the difference. So always from the first term, you subtract your difference, you will get 6 minus 4 plus 2. So this is a shorter way of getting the answer. Now next one, let's see the difference. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So every time we are adding 2. Now we are going to add 5 plus 2 is 7. So now we will add 7 to 10. 10 plus 7, 17. And now we will add 9. So we are adding 2 to our difference. 17 plus 9, 26. Whenever you have a sequence like this, that the first difference is not the same, but the second difference is same. It is a quadratic sequence. There's a formula to find a quadratic sequence, but luckily for this question, we don't need to use that formula. We just need to know a few basic things. I hope you all know the square numbers. 1 square is 1. 2 square is 4. 3 square is 9. 4 square is 16. 5 square is 25. So n square is equal to the square numbers. We square our n and this is the answer we get. Look at the numbers we have. You have 1 year and you got 2 year, 4 and 5. So every time there is one number more than the square numbers. So therefore we can write it as n square plus 1. Part B, find the number of crosses in diagram 60. So we are going to use this formula 4n plus 2. But in place of n, we are going to substitute 60. And we will get the answer 242. Next, which diagram has 226 squares? So this is the one that we are going to use, n square plus 1, because this gives us the number of small squares. So n square plus 1 is equal to 226 squares. What is the difference between this question and this question? Here, our n is given to us, diagram 60. And in this part of the question, we have to find our n. So n square is equal to 226 minus 1. N square is equal to 225. Therefore, what is n equal to? Whenever you have a square and you want to find that, you will square root the other side. Square root 225. The answer is 15. Normally, when we square root, we put a plus and a minus. But you have to remember that there are certain cases where you cannot put a plus and a minus. One of them is when you're finding the sequence, and the others are when you're finding the length, height, radius, things like that measurement. Part D. The side of each small square has length 1 centimeter. The number of lines of length 1 centimeter in diagram N is 2n square plus 2n plus q. Find the value of q. For this, we will have to look at the diagram again. So this is our diagram. In the first diagram, how many lines of length 1 centimeter do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when our n is 1, that the diagram is 1, replace n with 1. The number of lines we have are 7. This will give us 4. Bring the 4 to the other side. It will be a minus. So q is equal to 7 minus 4, 3. And we are done with this question. Question number 7 is a function question. Part A, find f of 5. Whenever you have to find f of something, in place of x, we will substitute 5. So 3 minus 2 bracket 5. Put this whole thing in the calculator, you will get negative 3 as your answer. Next, find g of h of 3. There are two ways to solve this. The first one is find h of 3. So that will be 4 to the power of 3, which will give you 64. And then substitute this in g. That will be your answer. You can simplify it further. 1 over 16. Part C, find f inverse x. Whenever you want to find the inverse, write down the question but replace the f of x with y. Y is equal to 3 minus 2x. Now your job is to make x the subject. Whatever you want to make the subject cannot be negative. So you have negative 2x, move it to this side, it will be positive 2x. And then move the y to the right hand side. It's a positive, it will be negative. And we still have a 2 with x, which we don't want. So divide the other side by 2. After this step, in place of x, write f inverse x and replace the y with x. So that's how you find the inverse. Part D, show that h of f of x is equal to 64 over 16 to the power of x. So f of x we are going to substitute in h. You have 4 x, and in place of x we have to substitute 3 minus 2x. This can also be written as 4 to the power of 3 multiplied by 4 to the power of negative 2x. Why can we write it like that? Because We are using the indices rule. What is the indice rule? If you have a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of b, we can write it as m plus b. And basically this is a divide. So I just try to make it easier for you here. But if we can use the divide rule, that if it is a divide, we minus the power. So this is a divide. That's why it's a minus. I can write it like this. Okay. 4 to the power of 3 is 64. And 4 to the power of 2 is 16. And you will be left with x. If you're doing the other way around, which I showed you, 4 to the power of 3 multiplied by 4 to the power of negative 2x. If the power is negative and you want to make it positive, you write it in the denominator and the sign will change. So this is the same answer as this. Next, find the value of x when h of x is equal to g of 0.5. H of x is 4 to the power of x and g is 4 over x. In place of x, we are going to substitute 0.5. This will give us 8. Now, how do we find x? Whenever you have both something in the power and you have to change both the sides with the same base, I can write 4 as 2 to the power of 2, right? It will give me 4. And there's an x there. And 8, I can write it as 2 to the power of 3. If the base is same, they get cancelled. So what are we left with? 2x is equal to 3. And this is a multiply. When I move to the other side, it will be a divide. So 1.5. X is equal to 1.5. You need to know your indices rules very well. I have put up a video solving questions on indices. Do have a look at it. It will help you understand the concepts more clearly. Question number 8 is a mensuration question. We have been given a cone and a hemisphere. Hemisphere is the half of a sphere. And the diameter of the cone and the diameter of the hemisphere are each 5 millimeter. The total surface area of the solid, that is the surface area of the cone plus the hemisphere, is 115 over 4 pi millimeter square. Show that the slant height L is 6.5 millimeter. So this shape is made up of the curved surface area of a cone, which can be found by using pi r L. The total surface area of the solid we are finding, and the hemisphere, the sphere can be found, the area of the sphere can be found by 4 pi r square. But we have a hemisphere, so we divide by 2. So pi r L plus 2 pi r square is the total surface area. Total surface area is 115 over 4 pi, and the radius is, the diameter is 5, therefore the radius is going to be half of the diameter, which is 2.5. So in place of r, we are putting 2.5 L. We don't have the slant height, that's what we need to find. And here also we are going to replace the r with 2.5 square. We'll do it slowly. So this is 2.5 pi L plus, put this in the calculator and you will get 12.5 pi. Remember, we need the pi because that's there in our final answer. So now 1154 pi, this is a plus. When I move to the other side, it will be minus, is equal to 2.5 pi L. Now put this in the calculator. You will get 65 over 4 pi. It's okay if you don't put pi in the calculator and you just put these numbers. And then while writing the answer, you put the pi here. Is equal to 2.5 pi L. This is a multiply. When I move to the other side, it's going to be a divide. And when you put the whole thing in the calculator, you will get 6.5 millimeter. That is your slant height. So we proved it. Part B, calculate the height h of the cone. Just let's put the diagram here. So this is what we have to find. We know the slant height. What is that? Is this length here? We know it. So this is 6.5. We also know the radius is 2.5. And now if we want to find the height, we have to use the Pythagoras theorem. What is the Pythagoras theorem? A square plus b square is equal to c square. A and B can be any side, these sides, but C is your hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the side opposite your right angle. So the height, let's name this h, height square plus 2.5 square is equal to 6.5 square. H square is equal to 6.5 square minus 2.5 square. Therefore, h is equal to square root 6.5 square minus 2.5 square, which is 6. Part C, calculate the volume of the solid. The volume of a cone is given by this formula and the volume of the sphere is given by this formula. Remember that this is a hemisphere, so we are going to divide this by 2. Just put the number in the calculator, 4 over 3 divided by 2. You will get 2 over 3. So this is the volume of the hemisphere. And now we want to find the total volume. So the total volume will be volume of the cone 1/3 pi r square h plus volume of the sphere 2 over 3 pi r cube. We know that r is 2.5. And what is the height we found? 6. Here also you are going to replace r with 2.5. That's it. The whole thing we put in the calculator and we'll get the answer. A very easy 4 marks. And we will get the answer 71.99. We can round it to a whole number or leave it like that. It's up to you. If I'm rounding it, it will be 72 cubic millimeter. Part D. The solid is made from gold. 1 cubic centimeter of gold has a mass of 19.3 grams. The value of 1 gram of gold is $38.62. Calculate the value of the gold used to make the solid. 1 cubic centimeter. Cubic centimeter is this. If you don't understand what it means, cubic, if the power is cubic, it always means that it is related to volume. So this tells us that we are talking about volume. That's the first thing. We already found the volume of the solid, which is 72 cubic millimeter. But we want cubic centimeter, so we have to convert this into cubic centimeter. How can we do that? I hope you know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. So if you want to convert from millimeter to centimeter, you have to divide by 10. The small unit is millimeter, the big unit is centimeter. So if from the small unit you want to convert to the big unit, you divide by whatever number that is there. So here we know that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, so we are going to divide by 10. 72 divide by 10. But it is cubic, so we are going to divide by 10 to the power of 3. And that will give us 0.072 cubic centimeter. So we converted the millimeter into cubic centimeter. The other information is given. 1 cubic centimeter has a mass of 19.3 grams. 1 cubic centimeter, 19.3 grams. So therefore 0.072 meters, cubic meters has what mass? We cross multiply. 1 multiplied by x is x. 19.3 multiplied by 0.072. You will get 1.3896. So this is the mass that it has. And now you want to convert it into, you have to find the value of the gold used to make the solid. 1 gram is 38.62. So how much will be 1.3896? We just multiply this by the cost, which is 38.62. And you will get the answer 53.666. Round it to 2 decimal place. It will be 53.67. So that is the value of the gold used to make the solid. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. For question number 9 onwards, please watch part 3. Kindly subscribe to my channel and do share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.